Hi guys, this is Debbie with Debbie J's Crafting Corner. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the new club kits from Spellbinders. I have got 6 of the new clubs and we're going to go ahead and create some cards. Everything is kind of got an artsy theme to it. So why don't we go ahead and I think I'm going to get started with hot foil because I love my foil. So I'm going to start off with my glimmer system. I've already got it over here heating up, and the glimmer of the month is called Colorful Splash. So it's this big glimmer plate. So I'm just going to set that one right down there. It is going to take a little bit to heat up because it is such a big plate. And I think what I'm going to start off with this also is using some rainbow foil, because what's better than rainbow, right? And whenever you're using foil of any type, you want to make sure that the pretty part is facing away from your cardstock. So if you're doing toner foiling, that means that you place it shiny side up on top of your cardstock. When you're using a hot foil system, it's going to be shiny side down toward, and this piece I did too big, sorry about that, but shiny side down towards the hot foil, and then you put your cardstock over the top. Okay, and then I'm going to just put my plates on top. So I'm putting my thin shim and my spacer pad on top. This already says that the platform is ready, so I'll just hit the button, and then once that stops blinking, I should be able to just run it through my die cutting machine. So we've got 3 fun panels ready to go for our backgrounds, and I want some more backgrounds. So what I'm going to use next is going to be the colorful bold splatters. That's the Better Press. This is actually designed to go through your Better Press system, but can do it with foil too. I'm going to be doing it with both. I'm going to be good. I'm going to use the Better Press system first, and then I'll come back and I'll do some more with the glimmer. So here is my Better Press system. If you're not familiar with it, this gives a real nice letterpress style look to your cards and gives the impression. It's like a debossed image and everything on there. We've got the chase and the platen. And then I've got some plastic, just some plastic packaging taped down. And the only reason for this is that it helps to keep my magnetic, this is magnetic, but it keeps that magnetic piece clean so that I don't get it really inky, because the ink that we're using is going to be archival ink. You can use any ink that you choose to. Using archival ink is kind of what it's designed for, and you're going to get a better result. But I've used Simon Hurley, I've used Lisa Horton, I've used a ton of different things. So with this set, it also comes with a registration. Got this, a registration panel. And the reason for that is so that you can use multiple colors and make the same basic design. So we're going to be making this design. And I'm turning it over so that all of the words are right side up. And then I'm going to tape that in place. And I'm lining it up with the registration marks that are on my platform here. Okay, so first off, let's just start with the one in the middle. We'll start with this big one in the middle and just layers right on like that. And I'm going to just pick one of the colors that's in my Better Press inks. Like I said, if you don't have these, use what you have. I think I want to go with Wild Berry just because it is bright. And Spellbinders recommends that you do a tap and twist when applying your ink. I've also noticed that the smaller the plates, the easier that they wind up moving around and they don't stay right where you put them. But I'd say just rearrange them, just replace them. I use my tweezers to move them around on my plate so that I don't have to worry about it. As you can see here, it did get off a little bit. This specific one is not going to be that big of a deal, even if it's off a little bit, because it's just splatters. But say you've got a different design, because they have been coming out with a lot of different ones that use the registration marks. lining it back up with the registration is super easy. Okay, I'm just using regular cardstock because I'm kind of out of the specialty cardstock that you can get for this. The specialty cardstock is more of a linen finish and should be able to go here and here. Okay, a linen finish and is thicker than regular cardstock. So I would say you can use watercolor paper or heavyweight cardstock, whatever you have in your stash. But even if you don't, even if you use just standard cardstock, it's still going to be an amazing result because you don't have to think about making sure everything is lined up because it's going to press perfect every time. And there we go. Perfect. Okay, so when you're wanting to clean these off, there are a couple of things that you can use. I've got some archival ink cleaner. I also use alcohol to help break that down. Pink may not come all the way off because you know how it is with pink. So it may stain it a little bit just like it would your stamps, but that's still fine. It doesn't cause any kind of damage to the plate. You're going to still be able to use it. That one's too big. This one looks like it's about the right size. Okay, so there were just two of the blue, so we'll go with another color for that. So why don't we go with, okay, blue, I'll go with my hydrangea. And this one was a little bit smaller, so you saw that I did kind of move things around a little bit. I'm going to get back in place, and then I'm going to do something that I learned last week. I'm going to wipe off some of the excess ink that is actually down on my platform because it's possible, it is absolutely possible to get it, I'll go this way. It's possible that you can wind up getting ink where you didn't want it. And by the way, I am recording this video while I am live streaming over on Twitch, so some of the bits may not get edited out, but that's totally fine. I love my folks over on Twitch, and they got to see all of the stuff early. Look at that. Love it. Even the overlap, it looks cool. And there we go. That looks so cool. Okay, so this one is going to be an experiment, guys, because I have not done this before. Okay, so I've got my first plate, and I'm going to put this down. And the experiment part is using one of the registration guides on my card. Now, I believe you would be able to do this fine if it was paper, but this is also plastic, so I'm not 100% sure. So we're going to go with it. Shiny side down. And then I'm going to place this right over the top, right where those registration marks are. And I'm going to try taping it and see if I can get it to stay in place that way. Hit the timer button. Let's go ahead and run that through. Okay, so we've got our first one down. And I also, this is something you're going to notice if you do this, is you do have a little bit of an imprint into your plastic because of the plates. So there is a debossed. And the plastic is already cool. Okay. So that looks super fun too. I think I did do a little bit of the positioning wrong, is where I rotated without realizing it. But I think that looks kind of cool. Now that I've got some foil panels done, yeah, I had to play with those first. I'm going to go ahead and stamp out the Colorful Expressions Blossom stamp set. This has a coordinating die, and the coordinating die will cut out this oval panel and all of the flowers. So that is going to be kind of cool. Have no idea yet how I'm going to use it, but that happens most of the time when I am creating, right? So let's do what I always do, and we're going to stamp it out in some VersaFine Clear Nocturne and emboss it up. And since it's the first stamping, I will probably need to ink it up a second time. Okay, and then I'm going to cover it in some clear embossing powder. Do not know the brand of this embossing powder. It's just some stuff that I've had in my stash that I have not been using because I love my Wow embossing powder. And it is also a little discolored, but it still winds up being clear, so you still have that nice dark black background. Thinking I might do a shaker card. Although, I could do a window card. Yeah, I could do a window card. That one, I think that one's close enough. That one's close enough. So, we're going to put a window in the middle of our card base here. I'm going to come up, go real close to the edge there, so that hopefully this goes in exactly the place that I want it to. I've got my sticky grid down in here from Waffle Flower, and I think I need to clean it because it's not wanting to stay in place. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment that says, "Thanks for all you do," right across this panel here to go on the inside of our card, so it won't be seen when the card is shut. Okay, so I was using purple ink before, so I will use some of my Crown Me from Simon Hurley. Okay, so that is going to be perfect. Okay, so I'm going to center this, I think. We're going to give it a shot. This may or may not work the way I was planning, and that's just because I'm doing this extra color in a shape. If you do it as a solid, you won't have that problem. Now, if you do a solid panel in here that is, you know, a rectangle, it'll be fine. But because I wanted to do this on the inside of my card, okay, so now I'm going to line it up. There we go. And then adding glue to the back of this panel. There we go. And I think that turned out perfect. And it's got space here for you to be able to write your message too. Okay, so now I'm going to put some of these together. At least one full sentiment, I think. With just a little bit of liquid glue on the back. going to use some foam tape on the back too, just because I love my foam. And the glue that I'm using dries matte and clear. This is actually some Fairly Arts glue. And when we're all done, and once this is dried, I'll be able to just wipe off any excess glue off of the foil, and you won't even know that it was there. And that card is so cool. I think it turned out really good. I wasn't 100% sold on the yellow, but I think that looks nice. And I just need to do the same thing with the other cards. Love this. So cool.